Henning Bliddal, a professor of rheumatology from Copenhagen. Oh, that's a broad question. You know, osteoarthritis is something we all have, or will have, my age at least. You have several joints with osteoarthritis. It's part of life. And from that, you just have to realize how to work against it and make it function. The joints will have to be as healthy as they get. And of course, you can't avoid getting older, not yet at least. Science hasn't provided us with this, so you'll have to modify some of the other factors. And osteoarthritis is linked to obesity quite a lot. So this is the factor to work with. You can't avoid the age, you can't avoid the old trauma you had in your youth. And this is part of the problem that joints never forget. So if you have should we say, a football trauma, something like that going on, handball, whatever, you fall on the street, the joint will never forget. And that's the trouble. You can't heal cartilage. So if you have dents or fissures in your cartilage, they are for life. So you'll have to modify some of the other factors, and this is definitely obesity you'll have to work with. Stay slim. And this will help your joints in more than one way. You get tenfold more osteoarthritis in a joint if your BMI is crossing 30. If the osteoarthritis has developed, you will have to go down in weight if you are overweight. This is definitely the best thing you can do. And apart from that, of course, you'll have to have some kind of exercise to keep fit. But the most important thing is actually to stay down in weight. Well, it wasn't rocket science. I mean, we put people on a very low-calorie diet. And the interesting thing about this, and our results show this, that along with the weight loss, they get really healthy. In our experience, most of these participants in our trials are rather unhealthy. They lack vitamins, they lack a solid nutritional diet. And along with our weight loss, they get healthier and they get happier. And with all our patient-reported outcomes, we can see that a weight loss about 10% will give you 30% better life, more or less, in total. It's a very good investment. Well, I think that people have, to a large extent, given up because they have no programs that are effective enough. And everybody seems to know that you can lose weight. The difficult thing is what's after that. You should deal with the aftermath after the weight loss, and we have found out how to do it, I believe. In our place, we are forming groups led by a dietitian that meets every 3 weeks, something like this, and we can maintain the weight loss for almost ever, it seems. As long as people feel that they belong to this group, they kind of accept the situation, and they don't gain weight again, more or less. And there's another very important point now, talking about osteoarthritis, which is my subject. It seems that they can maintain the status of their joint without getting worse. And this is quite important. So if many of our participants have lousy knees, to put it frankly, and they can avoid the surgery, which is more or less the end point of quite a lot of joints, and they are happy with this. Well, yes, indeed. We are running a program right now for gout patients, and this is even better than with knee osteoarthritis, which has been our subject for years. So the gout patients fare quite well, and quite contrary to expectations from the literature, they don't flare during the weight loss, which is good. So everything up to now has been a sort of rosy situation with the gout patients, and we are believing that this will be another kind of arthritis that is really in for weight loss now. Well, thanks for the offer. I think that, again, with our experience with the groups, I would suggest the communes everywhere to have programs like this. And I think that they should go in earlier. We know more or less when this is going to happen to a lot of people. So instead of waiting until they have their arthritis or have their bad knees, they should begin earlier on. Like we know that women gain weight after birth, giving birth to their children. They slowly gain weight. And we know that a lot of sports people giving up their sports because of various joint problems, they gain weight. So why not be in the preventive, more aggressive situation? So do programs for these people. And I think this is definitely something for the communes to take up.